talk about the brief of Git, and it will be purely introduction to Git. So let's start with the agenda. So agenda is pretty simple. We'll be talking about what are version control systems, what are the distributed version control system, what is Git, what is GitHub, and a brief of the basic Git commands. I'll give you a demo, but soon after this video. Let's talk about a problem wherein in your college days you used to maintain some kind of a file system, version control system, wherein if you want to create your assignment, you first create initial copy, and then if you want to modify, what you do, you create a copy of it, and then you name it something like assignment final or assignment draft and so on. So typically in this example, let's say you want to create a poem, right? Then in this poem, you have separate versions and you are trying to maintain. And how do you do that? By creating multiple copies of it. You initially create a draft for version 1, then you create version 2 and so on, right? So now it creates a lot of dependency and redundancy to your file system. And now it's very difficult to find and order your files and difficult to find, right? So you will need to maintain multiple copies of it. So it's typically a problem, right? And assume a scenario wherein you are dealing with thousands of files, then dealing with it will be very, very difficult and near to impossible. So this is kind of a version control system already, wherein you do manual efforts to maintain the version, but it's still a version control system. You do it manually, but still a version control system. Next, then the programming community identified this problem because they had to maintain a lot of files in the file system, right? So now to deal with the problem, not only Git, but there are also other systems which are there for version control system. For example, Apache has a subversion. We have SVN, we have Git, Mercurial, Silk SVN, Tutorial SVN, Tortoise, just ignore the name, but we have all these available. And Git is the most famous version control system that we see in most companies are using. And it's very famous because it has a lot of good features and also it's very easy to use. So often with the definition, we also say that Git is a distributed version control system. So what do we mean about that? So if you need to maintain a copy in each of the developers' machines, so suppose you have a member of 5 in your team, then if each of one working in their machine and they have their own copy of the file system, then it's hard to maintain again, right? So what do we mean by distributed is you place all your content into a central place from where each of the developer can pull in the data, and then they can maintain the version on their own system. In this way, you have a central repository when you push all your code or any file system, and then any of us can download. Any of the team members can download the same version of code and they can run on their machine. And in this way, whenever they have a new change, they can again upload it to a central repository, and then others can download, and they all will come onto a common ground. And that's how the distributed version control system maintains its efficiency and everything synced up. Now let's talk about what is Git. So Git is again a distributed version control system for tracking changes into source code or to manage any other kind of file. So this is a Wikipedia definition that you can maybe pause and read out, but that's all about it, right? To maintain the version which can be used by the team of multiple members. Then what is GitHub? So GitHub is just a place wherein you can upload your Git repository, wherein you maintain a file. You can keep it in your local, but there has to be a central place, right? You cannot keep all your files in your local. If you're working across the globe, or your team is distributed, or you're working with multiple sets of people, then you need to upload that file to a central place, and GitHub can be used for that. You create a Git repository, you create versions in your local, and then what you do, you simply upload the same into GitHub, and from there, other user can take a pull or download that same repository, and then they can use it. They can also change the version, and they can again upload it to GitHub, but that's again a use case. It has a basic git command which will be giving demo in the next video, but initially it is just git init, git add, git commit, git status, and so on, right? And all of these have specific use cases. More we'll look into the upcoming video, but that's all we have for now, and thank you for the video. Thanks all for watching.